Okay, this is sometime in March 1970 from Indianapolis, mid or late March. Dear Mother and Daddy, Wednesday morning, just got back from Pennsylvania last evening and have a notice from the post office about your parcel. So Jack will be picking it up today. Really terrific of you to remember the boys' Easter. They'll be delighted. Our trip was great, fun. And amazingly enough, the boys traveled better than they ever have, even slept 2 hours in broad daylight on the way home. JF had a ball in Pennsylvania and Benji too. Both seemed to thrive on excitement, and there was plenty of that, as had 9 kids come to see him on and off, cousins included. Gave them tiny Easter baskets with your stuff from last year, and they were thrilled. Did as much antiquing as we could, though Jack balked and didn't get to buy a thing. Did get to Brown's and Freedom, and he was rather snotty, as only wants to have dealers now. Turned away 2 people at the door while I was there. Guess I was too much, and he will never want browsers again. He had 10 samovars with pot on top. What are you going to say?
Do you know what the samovars are?
No.
They're Russian, they're brass, they put
The tea
cold
things?
charcoal in and they made their tea from them.
Oh, fun.
And my mother had a magnificent Russian samovar.
Only one with a faucet handle and fair markings. They all had the markings and wanted $55 for each of them. Jack thinks Brown is such a shyster that he wouldn't let me get it. I'm sick about it, but have some idea how frustrated you've been with these many years passing up things, Mother. Got into a Goodwill in Beaver, Pennsylvania that had some pretty pieces, but the best were sold. Tried phoning the gal about your slate, but no answer. Brown did mention the upcoming Indianapolis show, Gene Crutch's manager, as being the granddaddy of all shows. So maybe that's the show that we liked so well last year. Brown handles tea caddies, $20 to $60, and showed me one for $35 that wouldn't hold a candle to ours. Though ours has warped terribly in this dry apartment. Afraid it's ruined as the lid doesn't close now. Any remedy? Thrilled that you like our chest and that Pick is a bit peeved about it. Don't restrain yourself on sanding if you're so inclined. Would appreciate your instructions for finishing. Want to do it dull, finished feeder, ? Jack believes that he'll try to pick it up next weekend. Make the big switch. Do you think you can get the chest in the den emptied by then? Also, would like a table, water bench. Are you willing to part with the pine stand in Becky's room yet? Also, if you can get it in a box, would like the ironstone coffee pot, and cream and sugar, blue luster, something Randall's. Anyway, and my Dalton to be Jugs?
Toby Jugs.
Toby Jugs. Oh, okay. What happened to the large one? It wasn't in my room when we were there at Christmas. Hope that Becky didn't take it at some time. Also would like the bearded pine mirror that you said that we could have. Jack will bring the desk cradle rocking chair, and not at all certain about the little table. Do you still want it? Also, your iron that Benji tried to nab. This will be either the 11th, Saturday, or the 12th, depending on the weather. We'll let you know definitely so that you can be ready. Did you pick up some old mason jars? Atlas blue with bubbles for $1 to $2 each. One with a lid and one without. Would you like one? They're darling. Jack's mom has many in the basement in Freedom. Mason blue with raised 1852. Does that mean the date made, or did they use that date for many years? Jars look older than hers. Dealer said they're found by the bushels in Pennsylvania, worth $8 to $10 in Indiana. Kind of mad that she gave us one with a lid for $1. Said it was a mistake, the marking, but we took it. Oops. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep these straight. Okay, pardon me. Wonder of wonders, Kay hadn't nabbed the chest that Jack's great-grandfather made, and Jack's mom will give it to us. It's cherry and so pretty. You drew an outline of it. Huge, large drawer, turnings on each side, pretty. It doesn't have a solid side dovetailing. Small and narrow. Noticed most pieces that we saw in PA had this type of dovetailing, and you drew a picture.
Oh yeah, dovetailing varied with the century and the maker.
Oh,
Some of
everybody
it was
did
very
it.
indicative of.
Oh, interesting.
You know what dovetailing is?
It's how they match pieces.
So you have this and that,
Mm-hmm.
so they would fit and be stronger than gluing.
Oh. Think we're set on chests for a while. Now want to locate something in a narrow table buffet and a desk. Did see a precious child's roll top with chair in the shop in Beaver. Ash or oak double roll, sold for $50. She didn't want to tell us the price. You must ask Pick again about the location of those pieces, where those pieces came from. You have a fortune in corner cupboard. Haven't seen any as nice in my looking. Think that anyone would snap that cobbler's bench up. And saw the cobbler's large shoe molds alone going for $2 to $5. Yours is darling. We'll ask about worth at show if I get a chance. Tried to find someone to appraise our stuff before we move. Thanks for getting the history on our chest. Wish we'd packed up that high chair on Livingston last summer for $4. Benji's is shot and needs reupholstering and will cost more than that. May trade it with yours as ours looks so awful. Pick has a real thing about that Irish setter. Have you seen the interior of his house? I'd love to. Oh yes. Could we have 4 more of the cheap milk glass sandwich plates? You can keep all mine, but using these constantly and really would like more. Going to be a huge push to do all my academic work this month and to devote May to packing. House have 7 weeks left and may have movers the week of the 23rd. Boys are going to Pennsylvania the weekend before. We hope to stay with Bobby and Bert while we do final packing. Then Jack and I will drive back to Pennsylvania, spend a few days before he leaves for California early in June. Would you like us, boys and I, to stay in Columbus while he goes to San Diego and finds a place? Could be a week to 2 weeks, so might be too much. Then boys and I are flying to San Diego after he finds a place. Afraid we'll have to have furniture stored, and it upsets us terribly. Benji must have added 10 words to his vocabulary on this trip. Jargons and words constantly. Jake said that he was, quote, glad to go home in front of everyone and created quite an impression.
Always saying the right thing, Jake.
At the right time and in the right place. Must run. Benji is jumping. He broke the crib in Pennsylvania with his jumping. Oh yes, JF is now role-playing himself with gestures, pretended to go through his day's schedule in the car, dressing, eating, bathing, even snapped on TV for cartoons. His imagination is phenomenal, even pantomimed well. Clipping on Dick Mensier here.
Dick Mincer, he's my friend that was with Phil Donahue.
They're interviewing Jerry Rubin on this show today. Think he'll go for Dick. Take care. Much love, Jack, Tony, J. Foster, Benji. P.S. Benji, back to 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. rising. Damn. Any word from Becky?